Silver, and welcome to another Monday morning art talk. So what I wanted to discuss today was self-development as an artist. How do we just develop ourselves? How do we get better at what we do? Well, I think one of the main ingredients, or one of the most important things that you need to have in order just to develop yourself, is self-awareness. You have to become aware of your shortcomings, of your problems, and you got to be true to yourself. And I think it's when you can be honest with yourself that you really aren't as good at a particular area in drawing that you think you are. Maybe it's the acting, maybe it's your gestures, maybe it's your composition, maybe it's your, well, you name it, it could be anything. And when you become aware that, God, I'm lacking in this, well, only then are you going to be able to develop that and get better, because now all of a sudden you have a target, you have a goal. And that's what this is all about. It's about trying to find those goals and set them. When I'm drawing, I feel like I'm trying to get my character, just feel like it's doing something and it's just not, it never reads, the energy's not there. Well, that's the signal, that's the sign that, well, I need to get better at understanding just how the body's going to move and work, or whether it gets into your designs a lot. A lot of people don't realize that being a good storyboard artist also involves just having the knowledge of design, because you have to constantly be designing your ideas and your boards, and oftentimes creating your own characters all the time, especially say like for advertising, storyboards, films and movies. When you look at those board artists, you see they have that sense of design. Because in television animation, you have to design your own characters a lot of the time, because the character designer can't always do them all ahead of time. And that's why, just understanding that, you may say, God, I can't match a style, I can't do something. So it becomes that self-awareness. So once you understand that, God, this is missing, I'm not feeling it, well, target that. Let that be your goal. Let that be the direction that you want to go in, okay? So it's very important. So your self-development is all going to be about your self-awareness of the things that you're lacking in. Now, you may not want to learn a bunch of different things. For instance, one thing that I thought I wanted to learn was how to oil paint. And I thought, hey, I want to paint in oils. I want to do gallery pieces. Okay, so I go through all these phases in everything that I do in my drawing. It's just like I get, and you guys could probably say the same thing. You get motivated and excited to draw a certain way, do a certain thing, and then after a while you can lose that lack of motivation for that. And that simply means just start drawing something different, and you naturally will. You'll naturally move on into that. When I was starting to do oil painting, I thought that's something that I wanted to do, and I knew I needed to get better at it if I wanted to succeed in just getting better at oil painting. And I knew that was an area I wanted to develop in, and there became that awareness. But when I tried it, it just didn't fit. It didn't work. It didn't match. I just felt too detached from it. And at that moment, through that, I realized, okay, that self-awareness of wanting to get better and develop myself as an oil painter just wasn't my thing. So don't feel bad if not everything's clicking or not everything's working. Maybe you just got to try simply something different. And that transitions into, well, how do I know what I want to do? I don't know what I want to do. Well, I have a suggestion. I say, get a stack of cards just like this. I got, all these, index cards, okay? There's just a bunch of index cards through here, just a lot of different things. Now, these are all attached. Through here, I've just, this is my own personal thing that I've done where, I've written down things that I'm grateful for, that I just write down all the things that, Let me see. I get to play video games during the day. Hey, that's something to be proud of. That's kind of an exciting thing. And I write things down like this. I eat whatever foods I desire. That's pretty cool. I have use of my arms and legs. And so I just write down a bunch of stuff that, hey man, look at all the things, that you can get into complaining about, or I'm getting on a tangent here. What I wanted to say was getting into like creating your cards is make a list on your cards of all the things that that are involved in the industry. So maybe there's graphic designer, maybe there's comic book artists, maybe there's a storyboard artist for advertising, movies, television, animation. Maybe there's a color stylist, a character designer, a prop designer, a background layout designer, a CG modeler, a texturer, you name it, on and on and on. Try to write down as many things as possible on these index cards. And then what you want to do is take these index cards and lay them all out on the floor in front of you. And start slowly putting aside the pile of things that simply don't interest you. Like, I don't want to do CG modeling. That's just not my bag. I don't want to do it. Okay, so maybe that's your thing. So you just take that and you move that to the side. Maybe storyboards. I don't really like stuff. Okay, you move that. Oil painting, galleries. Not my thing. And you move those to the side, and all of a sudden your list gets shorter and shorter, and it starts to become those few things. And that's how you can slowly start to hone in and start to find that target, because that's the goal. That's what you're trying to do here. You're trying to hone in and find that target. What is that thing, that center spot that right now that you're trying to achieve right now? Because like I said before, life is just a series of chapters, and you're going to change your tune. From every now and again, it happens at different times for everyone, but you're going to be doing something long enough where you're just going to make that decision that you just want to do something new. Why? Because it's important to grow and it's important to learn. And that's why we do it. We're always growing. We're always training our minds. We always want to improve our skills and get better and build our confidence and do all these things. So that's the real, goal. And just know that things are going to change. So right now, hone that in, and maybe every year do it again. Maybe you put that list out again and see, well, maybe I want to change different paths and learn a new skill and do something different now. So, hey, give that a try. If that's something that you're unsure of what you want to do, and even if you are working in the industry and you're doing what it is you're doing right now, maybe do it anyway and see maybe it's time to change. Maybe that's the thing you're yearning for, and that's the thing that is in your mind that you just not sure what's going on with yourself, and you realize that you just need change. And I experience it all the time. I'm changing all the time. I'm just, it's hard for me to sometimes get focused where I'm going to do something for a little bit, and all of a sudden, becomes that squirrel, and I get distracted and say something else, and I want to try something else, and I do something else and see what happens with that. And I've accepted that about myself, and I know that that's part of my journey, and it happens even with my artwork. Some days I feel like drawing, other days I simply don't. I just don't want to draw. I don't have the desire to draw. I want to write, or I want to do something else. I don't know. It could be anything, but it happens. I'm okay with that, and it comes to the acceptance. So this is all part of the journey that we're on, the different chapters that we're in, the things that we're going to experience. This is called life. This is what it's all about. Just try to enjoy the journey as much as possible. If anything, that way at the end of the day, you can look back and say, well, at least I tried it. At least I did it. And gave it the old college try. All right, so that's it for this week. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks again for your comments. Thank you for sharing this, and thank you. So have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys again next week. This next week, I'm heading to Germany to do a workshop in Berlin. So I'm excited about that with Schoolism. So if you're watching and you're from Germany and you live in Berlin, well, you can go to schoolism.com where you can see just where it's going to be taking place through there. And then my next semester of teaching online starts in August if you want to have instruction. But yeah, doing some workshops, and then I'm going to Ecuador after that, to South America for 7 days. Then I'm going to do a workshop out there. So a lot of things happening, but I'm going to try to do these posts, and I'm going to try to pre-record so that you guys don't miss them. And that's it. All right. Have a great week.